Hey everyone, it's me, Jeremy, again, and we are back in the IvyFi Lounge. This week, we've got Steve. John, you're here every week. It's
Every
crazy.
week, mate. Without fail. Without fail. You're here, I'm here.
Yeah, I
You know
can
what I
always
mean?
depend on you. So, and you're always there. And then this week, we were joined by very special guest, a Hedera OG, known, like I said, nationally known, internationally known, locally respected, DaRuler. And I'm doing this because Mark, get up here. Come up here now.
Hey
So
guys.
Mark, he recognized that I'm Hood, and he wanted me to embrace that tonight on the show. So I'm going to do that. So I'm Hood, and so I had to use some lingo. How did I do, Mark?
Amazing. You win the bet. You win the bet. Seamless. No one will ever notice.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone knows the worst part of prison was the Dementors. So, we're gonna be good. Anyway, how you doing tonight, DaRuler? You can go away, Mark. We'll bring you back later.
I'm doing good, man. Thank you so much for having me on this. I wasn't expecting it. It was last week you were like, hey, do you want to do a video interview? I'm like, why not? Let's go for it. I'm always down to chat.
You're always up for anything.
Yeah, man.
That's part of your MO. Like you just if something's going on community based, you're there. You're in all the spaces. You're in most of the good projects, So we'll kind of get into talking a little bit about how you got to be such a legend in the space. I told Mark also part of what I think what started this is I was like, bro, DaRuler is a real one. Like you can't mess with this man. He's still rocking the Yahoo. Like you can't go against the man with Yahoo. Like that's like next level, bro. You can't. It screams OG.
Listen, I was 15 years old. They asked me to trade. I look down at my shoes. I'm like Adidas. I look at the mail next to me, my zip code. I'm like, boom, done deal.
That's me.
That's how you have my email address. So
wonderful. That's awesome. So anyway, well, it's great to have you here tonight. We'll have a good time. Kind of go through a little bit of your crypto journey, as well as just things that are going on in the community. Find a little bit about. I want to find out about HonkBot a little bit. I know that you probably know more than. Are you on the team or are you just helping them out?
A little bit of both. I'm an advisor, so I also help them a little bit with the marketing, get the word out, because there are a bunch of devs that are working hard behind the computer, so they're not always going to be available to talk in spaces and or in DMs. So if anybody has any questions, the goal is so you're able to reach out to me and get some information, or if you have any kind of problems getting on and doing transactions, potentially I can help you out as well, or at least be the median for you to get those answers. If I don't have the answers, I will get them for you.
That's good. That's awesome. That's kind of, it sounds like that's the perfect role for you too, because you're a good communicator, go with people.
But most importantly, I only do things that I personally believe in myself. So if I don't believe in your product, if I don't feel like I'm going to be using it, I'm not going to associate myself with it, right? So when they presented the V2 version to me, I was blown away. The simplicity of it, the UI, I was like, you know what? I'm on board. Let's do it. And you can have the best product in the world, but if no one knows about it, there's no point as well, right? So I feel like that's where my specialty kind of comes in, talking in spaces, being all over the timeline, and also the main key for me is onboarding people into Web3, specifically now HBAR, and of course XRP as well. So the key is to educate and make this a seamless process of you getting to learn about the crypto journey that you might be getting on as well. So
that's very cool. I want to come back to the XRP thing here in a second, but if you guys are watching, go ahead, and I was going to have them go into HonkBot, but I want more people to be on. And at the beginning of the space, there's never as many people as there are towards the end. So we'll save that so people can hear all the stuff about what HonkBot's doing a little bit later on. But if you're watching, if you could reshare the space so that more people can see that we're on here and hear what we got to say, that'd be great. And we'll get to that a little bit later on. So John, how's the training coming? Last video we did with Phil, we kind of got into this like training challenge type thing. Now I'm unsure, is this a competition or not?
I feel like everything we do becomes a competition. Whether we just start, we could literally play a game of like rolling marbles and it become a competition. But no, it's only been a week, so we're all in there. We've got the Discord set up. We're sharing stuff. We're not exactly all. You're the runner of the group, which we've all established. So you've got the head start. So I'm immediately determined to either be faster than you or come up with an injury. So that's where I am.
It's
that's
funny
where it is now.
I called Mark this week and I said, "Oh, Dream Bay's in the chat. What's up, Chris?" I'm stopping to type "Hi, Chris." All right. But when I first talked to you, I thought it was like a competition, and so then you were like, "Yeah, so it's like where we start and where we end," and I was like, Mark, come up back on stage. Anyway, so I was talking to Mark and I'm like, bro, I'm not having this. I'm like, John always rigs these competitions where he can win. He's like, oh yeah, like it's I was like, look at my time. My time's going to be like in the 24, 25 range for a 5K. John's starting himself at 31 minutes, but he's in like incredible shape. Like he's already got the advantage because I could get down to like a 20-minute 5K and he knows by the math he still has me. I was like, I'm not doing this. This is BS, and I'm going to bring it up on the call.
Just got to run faster. That's it. You just got to run faster.
Oh, is that what it is?
Wait, this is like a 5K competition, or is it like the gym competition? What are you guys up to?
It's a 5K, but so it was. Yeah, so I come back from like injury, right? So I've not run properly since like last November on and about. So I was like, I'm back up to like I can run properly now again, everything else. But I'm not nowhere near I was. I'm like, I need like a competition or group people to come on and be like, this is how we're running. This is what we're doing. And we pretty much just start asking Mark, he's like, I'm not as well, let's start running again. But we know Jeremy's a runner. So right now we're like, okay, we'll start this little running thing. It'll start as a 5K, but like with everything, it'll grow arms and legs. It'll probably go into, I want to start introducing body stuff to it. So I'm a more calisthenics person anyway than running. But right now, yeah, it's just a 5K competition. Look at Jeremy's face. I know I want to do calisthenics because I know I can do more pull-ups than Jeremy because I do that all the time. So.
Well, yeah, I know that you'll cream me in that, but I was like, I feel like this competition is not winnable. So I don't know, but it's not a competition.
Just about being motivated, Jeremy.
He's like, just do better. You need a 5-minute mile pace.
Yeah, and we managed to rope in Phil from Hashpack as well. He's like, yeah, man, I'll join you. I'll do the same.
We're just kind of posting our. Okay, so then today we were in our team meeting. We got Freddie, our other dev, and I was like, so Freddie, like, I want to let you know we got this thing going. If you want to be a part of it. And he's like, well, I would, but he lives on like a farm. He's like, but my workouts are not traditional. I'm like, so you're just going to be like putting pictures of you with like goats, like lifting up goats and stuff and baling hay. Like that could be fun for the chat. I think we would enjoy that.
We can make it work. I'm going to drop off stage though.
Okay. So anyway, I still don't know if it's an actual, so it's not a competition, but it will turn into one.
It's not a competition, but I'm looking to win.
Okay, duly noted.
Yeah, I'm not a 5K guy anymore. I used to run, but now
Nice.
just the fact that I would have to go out in this Florida heat and run, you won't catch me doing that. So, but plus, in Florida, right, you can only be indoors to do kind of stuff like that unless you're doing it late at night. So you will not catch me on the treadmill. I will fall asleep, fall over, and I love playing sports. So if you're gonna catch me doing any cardio, it'll be playing sports. So.
I don't like running, so this is why I have to do this because it's like I'll find any excuse to do something else.
There you go.
Well, Phil wasn't running, was he? He's doing something else. He's posting other workouts.
Yeah, I think he's doing he says he's doing the base thing for a few weeks, but I think he's still into it. He wants to. He's going to start posting. Yeah, I'll get him running. Don't you worry about that. I'll get him running.
DaRuler, you're welcome to join and post workouts too. No one, I think I posted a 5K and you posted a 5K. And then
Yeah, you've
Mark,
already got like a 2-minute 30 head start on me.
Mark posted one too. Well, I'm not going to say what I was going to say, but I am gangster like that, so I would just put him on blast out here, but I'm not going to do that. All right, moving on. IvyFi news, real quick. So this weekend, if you're a governor, we have an AMA in the Discord to talk about our first proposal, which will be about how we do the token listing for the IvyFi token. But you can already buy it now on the app, but we're going to let the governors decide how it's listed, where it's listed, all that kind of stuff. So we gave everybody an information pack, and we're going to be answering questions about that so that they can vote the way that they want to here beginning of July. So that's coming up. That's all we got going with that. If you're a governor and you have not swapped your leaf to a Hashinals leaf, go on the app and do that now so that you can participate in that. I think we have a few people who still haven't done it. So anyway, wanted to get that out of the way. DaRuler, my man. So how did you get into the wider? Actually, I want to go back to the XRP thing. I've seen these stats, especially the Dream Bay chat, that you're like getting everybody from XRP over to Hedera. Like, how's that? How are you doing that? Is that just jumping in spaces? How are you spreading the Hedera net out there?
First of all, is my mic still okay? Because my speaker, I think, on the laptop just blew a little bit. So actually, never mind.
I think you're getting feedback from when we talk. It's coming through. So when we're talking,
I'll just mute myself next time you guys are talking. Perfect.
Yeah,
the whole XRP thing. I've always done cross chain, no matter what the situation was. Originally, when I came into HBAR, I was obviously getting to learn the ecosystem, finding my home. That's where I landed. And then whenever we had projects looking to do some cross-chain stuff, I was kind of the guy that naturally gravitated towards spaces, going into Solana spaces, ETH spaces. So we had those connections back in the day, but and we did some onboarding with Solana and the ETH people. But what I've noticed is their mentality was a bit different than ours. Theirs was more like, hey man, what can you do for me? How fast can I flip your NFTs so I can go back to buying what I was buying on my chain? So it wasn't really the mentality and the mindset that we had on HBAR, and it was just more of a degen aspect to them, way more degen than we are, and I just wasn't vibing with that kind of thing. I wanted to find more of a civilized society and community. I just did not find that on Solana. But again, we had plenty of people that branched over during specific mints, especially, I mean, if you look at the ghosts. The ghosts have people from every single chain. And it sounds bad, but I always use the ghosts as a vehicle to bring more people onto our chain because they're just absolutely goated when it comes to the team, when it comes to the art, and especially when it comes to the simplicity of understanding what the project does, right? There's no complex structure behind it. You buy the NFT, you rock it, the community embraces you, and you just vibe. So it's as simple as that. That's what people want when they're onboarded onto any sort of project initially, right? Then you can get a little bit more complex and introduce them to other things down the road. But now with XRP, funny enough, when I actually joined crypto initially, I was first in XRP. I found out the coin was being suppressed. There was a whole lawsuit. So in 2019, I was at a UFC fight. Some guy was, I believe he was a dev for them. He didn't want to say anything, but I feel like he was. And he kind of pitched XRP to us. And that same night, we downloaded Uphold. Barely got to watch any of the fights. Bought my first XRP, and then you start looking around what's happening. And of course, X was and still is the platform to find out information. So I found a community back there and started messing with it. But I noticed that I like art. I like trading things. And I saw that they had NFTs coming out. But at that time, it wasn't really developed. It was just IOUs. So I kind of got bored. And then my friend that I met, that I actually was with at that same dinner, he's like, hey, man, I found this community. It's called HBAR. And they seem to be the same kind of people. But they seem to have the NFTs a little bit more figured out. Come join me. I was like, all right, let's go. And I got my free NFT gifted through one of the people that ended up liking me or whatever. And then I ended up entering more giveaways, selling those again, buying new NFTs and just kind of flipping it, and building a portfolio with it, just having fun. And in the process, getting to know some incredible people that I still get to call friends in Web3 and now IRL too, because I met a lot of them IRL recently. So that's how the journey started. Ironically, I started in XRP, went to HBAR, and now I'm kind of revisiting XRP as well and calling it my second home. And that's it's been a quite easy onboarding experience because they're so like-minded when it comes to that mental mindset, how they're viewing NFTs, the enterprise aspect of it, the retail being suppressed. So we're finding common grounds to get behind together, and of course the communities are so intertwined now. And again, it all started with one space. They threw me in there. They said, "Hey, make friends. Let us know how it goes." And here we are today. You can't even tell who's on XRP and HBAR anymore. And I think as we continue, you'll find that's going to be a lot more common.
Yeah, you do see a lot of that. Now, Jon, you also came through XRP, right? Have you noticed the same kind of similar mindset? That's where you got your start, right?
Yeah, pretty much I have. I think that's where when I first started talking to people. It was more my brother actually, and from there, that's literally what got me into obviously blockchain and everything. I think the XRP thing was, those have been a while, was that initial carrot for everyone, wasn't it? And like the inject, and then talking to people. I think it was just because, and I say this in the best way I can, but it was just like normal sound people just chatting about something new and exciting, right? And you all had like a similar interest. And then from there, obviously, the last bull market, everything went wild, but a lot of the XRP people stayed. And then from there, everyone, you started learning about new networks. But yeah, I totally agree as well. Like where I met some really awesome people on there. And then moving over when we were on XDC, Jeremy, and we still talk to people on there as well. Nice people there. And you'll find that as well. I think when you get similar market people that are working together, I don't find that on a DaRuler, like everyone's, you can talk about other networks and other things going on, and people don't take like there's not like a maxi thing about it. Like they're happy to talk about everything and be inclusive thing. And that's why I like it, to be honest, as well. So yeah, totally agree.
Yeah. So from what you said, DaRuler, though, it sounds like what made you stick around was not, because Hedera does have the best tech for NFTs, but it was more the community aspect, or was there any of the tech involved that like really played in, or did you just kind of find out that as a bonus as you were going along?
Well, keep in mind the tech when I first came in, it was not really there the way it is today, right? We didn't have a launch pad. We didn't have a marketplace the way it is today. It was mostly, hey, I'll send you HBAR, you send me NFT. So word of mouth, you trust the person you're interacting with. So the tech wasn't really there when I initially came in. So now we have the tech. I came honestly to play and flip NFTs, but ended up staying for the community. So even when it was completely dead, there was not a lot of things happening in the ecosystem. It never felt like I was leaving anywhere, because I already had made connections with people that it was kind of a getaway from reality when I needed a break from work, or you just need a moment. It was nice to be able to talk to like-minded people about certain conversations you can't have IRL, because I don't know if you see how conspiracy theorists all these crypto people are. It's crazy, because these conversations that I have with people here and on X, Discord, whatever, you can't have those conversations IRL anymore, because again, the world has changed. So it's kind of interesting to see how like-minded we all are and can get on the same page quickly without having too much explanations, right?
Yeah. I remember, I'm not going to say what it was, but when we first met in real life, this man gave kind of like a question just to kind of feel out the car. It was me, X-Raptor, and Phil, and we all answered the question in an appropriate manner, so then the evening could proceed.
Yeah, I threw a little questions. Like, let me see how they react. Oh, I like the answer. Now we can So
I can't bother talking to this man about 4 hours and working out if he's nice. I'm just going to ask him this, and then if he answers correctly, we're instant friends.
I was sitting in the back of his car.
We don't have enough time together, so I'm like, I just don't want to do the whole,
Yeah.
Let me just get straight to the point. Make sure these are my people, and if they are, we're gonna have a pick and blast tonight. So that's all it was.
I'm sitting in the back of his car, and he's like, all right, I'm just gonna put this out here. And he says the question. We're like, yeah, I think that what you said is reasonable. And everybody's like, all right, on with the evening. It did set a nice baseline for everything. I will. So my hat's off to you. And then we had a great time with the legendary pool game that that has been spoken about on a bunch of different spaces at this point. But that was awesome. So
the missed exit, of course, driving a little bit too fast.
Oh yeah, great night. A little bit of. I think we had tequila that night. There was some sort of. Was it
we
tequila?
had Cafe Patron, which has since been discontinued, unfortunately. Hopefully,
Oh, really?
Back one day so I can stock up on the inventory. But it was a shame. But I got the job done that night.
It did. It was a fantastic night. Really, you can't say enough. So, but okay. So, as someone who, because Jon and I, as far as the NFTs, we like the NFTs, but we like the utility. Like that's what I think is really cool about NFTs. I've never been like a huge collector, but like for instance, I got like the wild tigers on. I like what Maui's doing with the network. Like I really respect that. I think that's really cool. I like the atomic swaps on rare swaps. I think it's like just really cool. I was utilizing the hashgraph and what it can do. But since I consider you to be like an NFT aficionado, like, so when you're looking at an NFT project, like what makes you primarily determine that it's a winner? Is it the art, the community, utility? Like, is it who's behind it? Like what factors like make a premium NFT collection in your opinion? I figured I'd ask you since we had the privilege of having you on. And I know you said on a space recently, you had like over 1,000 NFTs. So if anyone knows NFTs, it's you.
Well, yeah, I'm an NFT guy. When the meme coin craze started, I was like, oh, here we go. It's shifting away from my baby here, the NFTs, but it always comes back. It always comes back. But I've seen projects, again, I've been in HBAR actively since 2019. Then COVID happened. So then it became permanent during that time, right? We had nothing better to do. We couldn't go out. So NFTs, I've seen collections launch. I've seen collections rug. There's really no formula to determine initially what's going to happen, right? I've had interviews with people. I've seen them on camera, face to face. I'll give a shout out to Bad Birds, who rugged it more recently. We literally
you met them in person.
What's that?
You met them face to face.
We did a call. We did a video chat. Yeah.
Wow.
And again, you do all this due diligence. You interview them. You get a sense for who they are. They tell you their dreams and ambitions and what they have going on, and then they can still rug you. So there's really no barometer. But for living, what I do IRL, I deal with people every single day. That's my specialty. I love communicating. I live off of human communications. So I also love seeing people face to face. That way I can gauge your facial features, see if I'm on the right track, like in the car. So that's my vibe. So the thing for me is I look at the people that are behind the project. How you're presenting yourself, how you're talking, do you sound like you know what you're doing? Because if you plan on launching a project, right, to me, you have to have some business savviness behind you. You can't just be a schmuck who comes off the street who has never done anything leading wise in their life and expect to have success. And also, I mean, yes, you can learn on the job, but it's a cutthroat business. So if you're not delivering day one, you're gonna get eaten up and chewed up and spit out. So it's not going to be a pleasant journey for you. So what I always try to do is I get into DMs. I like to have a chat via whether it be video calls or voice calls and just kind of gauge the person behind it. And then once they present themselves on the timeline, they kind of showcase what they're about. Then my goal is to gauge the market sentiment. I go around, I see who's saying what they feel about the art, what they feel about the team, and I just kind of make my decision based off of that. Is there any traction they will get with the product they're pushing out? And if I do feel like that initial conversation I have with them, they have a specific goal in mind, they seem like trustworthy people, if we can use that term in Web3, I'll help you out in any way I can if you're a real builder that seems to want to stick around. So again, 99% of the projects feel like they have rug, but again, I want to say it's more of a failed business most of the time. because
Yeah, that's fair.
the market also dictates at the end of the day where they want to take their liquidity. So if the new shiny toy just comes out of nowhere and takes your attention away, and you're not present on the timeline every single day the way you should be, you're gonna get left in the dust. So there's also that.
So I was going to talk about this later, but I want to talk about it now, I think. So what do you make of this Hedera Punk stuff? Like, it just kind of appeared out of, like, in the last, seems like 5 or 6 days. It's everywhere. Like,
The Hedera Punks?
yeah.
Hedera Punks is an interesting story because we think about a project needing socials, having a way to communicate with the dev, seeing them on a timeline. They potentially have a Discord, right? No, instead it just showed up on Centex. People were like, "Oh, what is this?" They just started minting it as a joke because they liked the art itself. And then suddenly a website appears. There's a dev behind the website. He's communicating with people directly through his website, essentially using it as a form of communication and a social platform, right? And people are just blindly aping these NFTs and riding with it because it was a new concept that we haven't really experienced before. And now suddenly you see people posting about it on X, on Discord. Everybody's FOMOing in, and then you had a few whales recently that I don't even want to give him the attention. He doesn't deserve it. He always buys up a project and then just floors it. He's the worst trader that we have ever had on any.
I saw your post about him.
Yeah, so again, now he's out, and the project seems to be going back in the right direction. The floor price is back to where it was originally, if not even higher, to be honest. So again, I don't know who the dev is, but for me, if a project is able to make a splash on the timeline and again help me onboard people onto HBAR as a whole, you know what? I'll use it as a vehicle to get more eyes onto HBAR. So whatever helps me help others get more exposure. And again, we're using the Hedera Punks right now. I don't know if you saw my timeline today, but I onboarded someone using Wooks. We talked about calls. Again, you just insert the real ones that you know are not going to hurt you, but using these other projects that are currently active on the timeline as an attention getter. So
yeah, I've been fascinated with the whole punks thing because, like, I've been seeing people post like, who's behind this? Like, it's almost like a Satoshi, like it's obviously not that level, but like there's like a mystery to it. So like, I didn't care, but like now I kind of want to know like who's behind the whole thing. So it's been quite an interesting, organic feeling, like movement to it. So anyway, I just was curious what your thoughts were on it, because I saw one post where you were like, it was like the King of the Hill guy or something, and but it had the punk head, and you were like, yeah, I'm just watching this one, or am I? Like, who knows?
I always know a little bit more than I let out, but in this case, I honestly, I swear I don't know who the dev is, and I honestly don't even.
Well, I'm not trying to get that out of you anyway. I was just curious as to like what, like your thoughts on the project were, because it's quite interesting watching. It's all I see now on my timeline is Hedera Punks right now. So
and that goes back to what I was saying earlier, right? I study this market sentiment. I look at what is getting people's attention, and then that's what I end up buying into myself. So again, I am a spectator mostly in this case. You don't see me shilling it very much because again, I need to see some more longevity from it for me in order to rep it more. But I feel like the community that it is behind right now has been around for a while, and they're having fun with it. And I'm not going to sit here and interfere and wallet watch and see who's doing what. So again, let the people have fun. This is what we came here for.
Yeah, that's good. So I've seen you specifically. I want to get into the HonkBot stuff here in a minute, but I feel like. Do you have an official role, or are you an advisor with DOSA? Because I know that you have done. I've seen a lot of stuff with DOSA as well. Just that question, I guess, is: are you like affiliated with them, or you just love their stuff?
I don't know if you know, but I used to be the community manager for a project called the After Dark Social Club.
Okay.
Unfortunately, both founders ended up disappearing on us, and Fossil was my homie. That was my Web3 kind of guy I grew up with in HBAR, essentially speaking, and he's the one behind DOSA. So when he told me he actually didn't tell me even that he was launching DOSA. It was completely unknown to me when he did it. even though we were really close. And that's why I respect him so much. He didn't want anybody, even his closest people, knowing that he created something. He wanted everybody to have the equal opportunity to buy in and be part of the project. Then once the project itself was established, then he came out and said, hey, I'm the founder. And that has made it even more bullish for most people. So that's the kind of guy you're dealing with right there. He's fully transparent. He's a degen at heart, but he wants to do things right. That's why he established those studios as well. He has many artists working for him. He treats them like gold. And if you treat your people right, they will do everything for you. And again, just his character speaks volumes. And so I don't have an official role with Dosa, but whenever he needs my help, I'm there. I love the art. The freaking content that he spits out every single day on X is brilliant. You don't really see that very often, and that consistent too. Even during the bear market, he just did not let off the gas. He was nonstop posting content, because to him, it's like, if you're here every day, you deserve to be, you deserve to get the attention when things do get hot in the end. So it's just a pleasure being on this journey with him. That's the homie right there.
That's cool. Now I was asking that because I've seen you post a lot about them and now HonkBot, and I was wondering, kind of, I know you're selective with who you kind of deal with. Like you said, it's people that you believe in, but I was wondering, as far as the process, do they usually approach you? Do you kind of hang out in spaces and then you say, this is something I want to get involved in, and like you kind of reach out to them, or is it different with any project that you're involved with?
Well, originally I had to approach everybody, right? No one knew who I was originally. So then you kind of build your name, you build your brand, if you want to call it that. And then you jump into spaces, you kind of become a household name. And that was not intentional. It was just, I did it organically. And if it happened, it happened. It was never my intention to be recognized or whatever people put me in a pedestal for. I'm not a legend. I'm just another community member like all of you guys. That's not what I'm after. I don't really care for the glory. For me, it was more about having fun and doing it organically. And when you're organic, when you're authentic, people vibe with you, and you're able to keep those relationships longer because it's not fake. You're not out to get people, or you're not out to extract from them. And when people realize that, they see that, they kind of have your back down the road. So I don't approach projects anymore. I don't have to, I guess. I mean, they're in my DMs, and there's a lot of DMs that I have to answer, and I'll be offered, whitelist spots. I'll be offered mints, whatever it might be, to promote them. But I want to say, out of the 100 projects that come through, maybe I'll entertain 90%. 10% of them. The other 90% just kind of go to wayside, because again, you have to have specific criteria, and I have to see that you're a real person looking to do good things. And again, I know it's hard to judge, but again, I try to filter it as much as possible. Considering I've been around for over 6 years, I've seen it. I've seen every gameplay. I've seen every playbook. So it's kind of easy now to identify and get rid of people much quicker than I used to be able to in the past.
You just ask him that question you asked me in the car, and it's over, right?
Somewhat similar, yeah.
That's awesome. So what is HonkBot? How did you get involved with this new HonkBot thing, and what does the bot do? It's been audited a bunch of times, which we love to hear the word audit. We've been through a couple ourselves. So tell us all about HonkBot and what they've got going on, and why you were excited to kind of, promote what they've got going on right now.
Yeah, so maybe a year back, we had the whole meme craze that happened on HBAR as well, and we had Meme Job that kind of helped launch that whole craziness. And then HonkBot made their first Telegram bot, where you were able to kind of get in there and just type in the token ID, and the bot will do the purchasing for you or selling for you, depending what you were looking to do. So during initial launches, it was kind of nice just to have the HonkBot do the trading for you. But the original app, it wasn't an app, it was just Telegram commands, right? It was a little bit primitive. But again, it was really easy to use, so people vibe with it. But then again, the market kind of cooled off when it came to memes. But instead of these guys just feeling sorry for themselves and saying, you know what, we're going to lay down and whatever happens, happens. No, they said, you know what? When the market does come back, let's put ourselves in the driver's seat and in a position to actually be the go-to platform. So when the market does return, they'll be using our trading bot to do the trading with. and they went back to work, and they've now created V2, which is a Telegram in-app. So there's a button you click, and within Telegram itself, the app launches, and it looks like any other wallet you would think, right? But this one is extremely simple. The UI is easy to navigate. There's not many buttons and things to go through, and the learning curve is very small. And again, it goes back to what I was saying again, onboarding. Will this tool allow me to get somebody on board to use memes on HBAR quicker? The answer was absolutely yes. The simplicity of the UI, the features now that they've actually put out, that just kind of blew me away. And then when they approached me and said, hey, can you help us kind of get the word out? I said, absolutely. Let's sit down, let's talk, and let's get this thing moving in the right direction. So they just recently, after several weeks of doing some auditing, HashLock finally got back to them and said, you know what, we've checked everything. All the backends, all the loose ends have been tied up, and there's nothing that you guys can now worry about. So it's a safe trading platform to use. It's non-custodial. They don't store any of your keys. And the other thing is when you officially, like when you first open and launch the app, it creates the ID for you and just gets you right into the app. So if you want to recover your keys, you can do that in your own time later. So there, again, it's a quick, easy access, and you're ready to trade memes. And I don't know if you've had a chance to play with it yet.
I haven't. I'd like to know like where to go to start. That'd be very cool.
On my profile on X, you can see I put HonkBot in there. When you click HonkBot, you are able to go through their, I guess, their link tree and just kind of see what's on there. You just click the Telegram app. It opens up if you have Telegram already loaded, and it guides you right through it. Again, just simply clicking it, opening it, it guides you through it. No massive learning curve. And now with the new app, they've actually put, obviously you have your market orders. Now you can put limit orders. You can even copy other people's trades. You can add liquidity to a token itself. And the beauty is you can switch between Saucer Swap and Meme Job within the app itself. And I believe they are also working with Meme Job to integrate Meme Job as well, because Dream Bay ended up putting their platform for launching coins out recently too. So now you can actually go to Dream Bay and use Meme Bay to open up a coin and start trading there as well. So they're going to be integrating that into their platform too. So you have one place to trade coins without having to exit it. They don't do any NFTs. It's simply trading coins. And the other beauty is you can create your wish list. You can add all your favorite tokens in there, or if you don't know, you can just sort by hot trending items or the most popular ones. So it kind of guides you and already tells you indirectly which ones are being dealt with very often. So you don't have to go search through it. It's just all right there. And the other part that I really like is the analytics, right? The history, your positions, so you can see how you're doing. For example, I love Hashback, but I don't have that feature in there. You can't copy other people's trades. You can see the leaderboard if you're doing referrals, or if you're using the app itself, you get rewarded for it in HonkBot tokens. So again, it's all catered for ease of use and for strictly for memes and tokens itself.
So is it only memes that you can trade, or anything on Hedera? Like what can you trade with it?
It's anything on the Hedera, the HTS. So
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
You can't swap for XRP. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, but you can do Hedera. You could do like Dovu. You could do any HTS token.
That is correct.
Wow, that sounds pretty sick. Now, is it live now to be used, or I saw they tweeted something or posted something. I've been saying tweet, and it's not been Twitter for like 3 years, but they said something about 24 hours. I think I saw in the last, like sometime today. Like, is it live now, or is it going live shortly?
Technically, it is usable. You can already go ahead and try it out. But tomorrow, at 24 hours, will be officially live, where they release all the bug fixes, and you can trade knowing that everything is functional and ready to go. Cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, that's exciting. It's cool that they like stuck it out, built through the bear. Well, it feels like it's been a bear for a while, but like, when was the last bull run? Even the last, like when BTC was like up around 120, like that, it felt like we were like halfway through a bull run. It was like, nope, that's it. Like,
it didn't feel like the alt hit at all, did it? It just felt like, Bitcoin had a bit of a run, and then everything sort of like, there was no rocket, was it? So everything slowly climbed up a little bit, and then it just sort of tapered off. Maybe that's it now, Jeremy. That's it. That's the excitement that we get. Do you know what I mean?
I think I asked that question when Phil was on, but like, what do you see the 4-year cycle is dead, or do you think that things are like, you think things are going to be changing? You think it's just more of like more adoption, so things just gradually go up and more of the projects win? What do you think like the near future is for crypto? Do you think we're still in the same cycle, or is it different?
Oh, I feel like every cycle from now on will be very different. We've already had that crazy initial cycle that was, again, repeated to a certain degree, but now I feel like it's completely changed. What you thought it's no longer applicable. And I think the key with the industry, once we get regulation, right, we'll see the players that are actually established, well-positioned, that will take over the market altogether. And it's just a matter of time of surviving it, right? If you're a founder, if you have a platform, you have Launchpad, whatever, marketplace, if you have a NFT project, the key right now is just to survive as long as you can, because once we get that clarity, once we get that, I guess, green light, you'll be in the driver's seat to finally reap all the rewards from your hard work you've been putting in over the years. So again, I think the mission in the long run is for you to use crypto without even knowing you're using crypto. Just like when you hit send money with the PayPal app, you have no idea what happened in the background, right? The money just was sent by you, it was received by the recipient, and that's the end of that. That's what's going to happen. They're going to be using crypto technology in the back end to power all of these, I guess, mainstream features that you'll be seeing.
Yeah, that sounds even like with Hashpack, like you can set up the wallet with, I don't know, is it Magic, whatever it is, and it'll just verify it on your email, or you can do, the more secure C phrase. But like that's the way most people are going to do anything that they do, is they're just going to use their email. No one's concerned about security till they get hacked. They just want to make it simple. So yeah, that makes sense. Hedera is definitely going to be one of the winners, because when the tech shines through, also like with the council, people, you can see markets and everything like predictability. They like knowing who's in charge, and with Google and LG and these Boeing and like big, that gives like a level of stability that these other different networks don't have. Like, oh, who's behind Ethereum? Like the guy that goes to these raves and does these weird dances, like it doesn't, they're the biggest because they were the first to do smart contracts. But I think a lot of the stability and stuff, plus the fact that the way you can use the network is different. So than other chains. So Jon,
I'm bringing that up as well, because that was the other thing that made me stay, right? When you have these massive companies backing your specific cryptocurrency, they're in the governing council, that kind of gives you that, I guess, safety net that you're in the right place. Yeah. And if they're sticking around, giving it attention, then you're probably in the right spot. So
yeah, 100%. It's very hard to see Google and T-Mobile like betting on a company that's not going to be around. Like it's hard to see that happen. So Jon, with that said, I wanted to ask you the question. We normally pick like a more tech related topic and let you kind of break it down for those of us who don't read white papers by the bedside. Hash spheres, what is it and why does it matter, my friend?
Yeah, so for those who are just tuning in or watch the show, and we normally try to cover just one like technical topic or some sort of buzzword that people talk around, and they don't always explain it. And we try, I do my best, but we always try to put it in like simplistic terms. So if you hear it again, you have a good idea. And Jeremy said this week, hey, let's talk about hash spheres. So yeah, some people might have heard of these talking around, whether there was a big project in Australia doing payments, Dubai and things like that. And they use this technology, and you'll normally just hear hash sphere and maybe a lot of buzzwords that come out of it. So what is it? So normally how networks work, right, is that you have the public area of a network, which is the one that we use now on DaRuler, right? So you can see all the transaction on Hashscan. You can see all what's going on in the network. Everyone can see what's going on. That's a public network. What HashSpheres allows is that within that public network, you can have a link to a private network, and this is a permissioned private network. What that means is that I could run a network as an enterprise or business and have certain other entities or businesses on that we work on our own HashSphere ledger, which is private. That means no one else that's not permissioned on that network can see our transactions. Well, they can't see the information for all the transactions. And everyone sits there and goes, why does this matter? Now, we all know Hedera is fantastic at getting the biggest enterprises literally in the world on the network, right? But a lot of these enterprises want to work privately, and especially when it comes to finance. If you're trying to issue someday like any sort of bond, insurance money, not everyone wants all that information public, right? I'm sure a lot of people here won't want all the bank statements and everything completely public to the next door neighbor to go, hey, why are you buying that? Do you know what I mean? It's not, it doesn't work financially, and some things have to be kept, in-house. So what this happens is HashSpheres allows projects and businesses pretty much to have that enclosed ecosystem that runs exactly the same on the Hedera network. So it works no different than what you'd see. But instead of doing Hashscan, it could be, another company's ledger that they have built in that they only view what's going on. And that's exactly what it is. And for businesses, this is absolutely critical. So what they can do is you could have multiples of these as well. You could have one with 5 financial businesses and sectors working together, transacting between each other, and then you can have another one that's completely different for Department of Defense if you really wanted to. The possibilities are endless. Now people sit there and go, well, what's the point of the public ledger then? Well, the public ledger still has a massive role, because that public ledger means that if you're trying to move to especially retail and everyone else in the community that ain't part of that permission bubble, you can't let everyone in because then you're on a public network. So how do we connect permissioned different areas together? Well, you can have that public network then that comes on. So there's always a rail then to the public network that can transact across, and that H bar will move across and then transact between the two. That's absolutely fine. But when it goes into that network, you'll just see it transact into there, and there it is. You won't know where it's moving and what it's doing, and all the information that comes with it and everything else. So that's absolutely key. It's not actually that, it can get quite complicated when you go into it, but the basis is private permissioned areas that businesses and institutions will want to use and need. It's absolutely critical for a network, in my opinion, that they have this infrastructure so they can operate, and develop things and work without everyone seeing what they're doing, because obviously market competition then can scoop that up. For areas like that, that's not really DeFi like us. That's where they want to be. And having that there at a mature level, which it's getting to now, is fantastic, because it's going to really attract businesses to come on board. They can use the underlying infrastructure for Hedera, understand exactly how it works, do everything that Hedera does in how it works, and then transact with each other and work and link into the public ledger that we all know and love. Simple as that.
Which is ironic, right? Because crypto is advertised as decentralized, and here we have full centralization, full control over the network, and also the people then ask, well, what does this do for the token price itself? I don't know. We're about to find out.
Well, I'd like to think that it brings, this is just opinion for me, no financial advice, I'll throw that out there, everything. This is just me spitballing, right? But I'd like to think that, that there is a decentralized area, because I think the public network will always be there, where you've got multiple entities in control of it. And that's why I actually like HashSpheres, that it has that private area, because it means that not one person has control of the entire bubble. You're talking pockets of bubbles of industry that are going to talk and permission with each other. So you've got private areas. So it's like that in society, right? You've got public roads and private access, aren't you? So we all use 90% of public roads, but you go into some area, there's some sort of barrier, there's some sort of thing. That's where they do their stuff. And then you can still see somebody going to work and driving in there, but you don't know what's going in there unless you're part of that building. And that's where I see it. It's like a multi-layered approach. And I think for businesses and adoption and price, I never say all about price, but definitely volume would be a thing, right? Because price can do what it wants. But for volume, if businesses come on and use that rail onto public rails as well, that's where I see it.
Yeah, it's interesting, because that was, you know, like when we were over on XDC, now that we've given our resignation, we still love you guys over there, but like, you know, Hedera is by far a superior network, but their big thing is public private, but they don't, that was like their big, we've got this, but with HashSpheres, like Hedera really is the ultimate network. Like it can do things that no other network can do. So I'm sure that in the end, you're going to have a lot of people when we get to maturity that are using Hedera because it's literally the only network that can do the things that their business needs to run. So super excited. Like for us, you know, we've said this on many, it's the only network that we could do what we're doing with NFTs, to be able to write data, customer data on the NFT and not store anybody's data. You can't do that on any other network. So we don't, the way our vault is set up is a remote wallet on the graph that you get the NFT receipt to in your wallet that lets you have ownership to that. You can't do that on any other network. Like literally, like Hedera does things that nobody else can do because it's not a blockchain. It's its own thing. You know, the hash graph is its own thing. So it's a great place to be. I mean, I don't know how anyone could be bearish long-term on Hedera. I understand the short-term price action stuff, but like when you just look at the tech, who else is going to fill these needs? And then you got the council, and then you have all these different things. You have a vibrant NFT community. You have, you know, so you have retail, you have all the different pieces that you need. You just need clarity in the market. And I think you'll start seeing, you know, people moving here. So excited to see what's to come with the network. So with that, 5 questions, my friend.
No pressure.
No pressure. All right. So these are pretty like random questions.
Before we get into the questions, can I just make a quick statement?
Yeah.
This is called the IvyFi Lounge, right? And,
yes, sir.
I had the pleasure of meeting you twice. So when you sent me over the Ivy platform and what you're doing, for me, obviously, it was a no-brainer. I had full trust in putting my H-bar into your staking platform. I got to give you guys a shout out. I was not I don't know why, but I was not expecting it to be as smooth and really appealing to the eye when it comes to the UI itself as well. Really easy to navigate. I love the NFT aspect of it, where the receipt essentially is minted for me and ends up being in my wallet, so I can kind of see when it was done, how many days I have left. Just the platform itself, the wallet connection is just flawless. It's so easy to get on there, look at your staking rewards daily, essentially, if you want to. So I'm excited to see what 90-day brings, but you guys did a fantastic job. And again, I'm not easily swayed, and I'm not getting paid to say this, by the way. I really like the platform, and I enjoy it. So thank you for the staking rewards, man. That's much more than, unfortunately, Hashback was giving me. So I know the native staking has not been where we wanted to, but at the same time, it's understandable. You eventually run out of funds to give out.
I'd love to say that how we got there was completely painless, but I'd be lying through my teeth. So we really appreciate it, because we've been going at it for quite a while now. And I think when you were on about expectations earlier, I think Jeremy's the best thing, that we prefer to under-promise and over-deliver. And I think because we've been in this space long enough, maybe we should be more shouty about what we're doing, but we really believe in, look, this is what we are doing. And it's just go click on it. And if you like it, fantastic. And we believe that we've got a decent product. And we just want to say to everyone as well, we have got, this is not like the Ivy Shield Lounge either. So, but we have got some really cool, more staking services coming out. That's going to cover like every type of, you know, option, should we say, on thing, without giving it all the way. Option that's going to be on Hedera. And I think people are going to love it. And it's coming out really soon. So we were looking forward to more and more stuff. But we don't rush anything, which is key. Like, it's and I think that's the hard thing on Hedera. Everything looks so good. Like we've been on some networks where they're like worth like 20 times the size of all projects together on Hedera, and it looks like, you know, a guy made it in his shed with some paint. Like it looks like, you're just like, this can't be real, and it is. And when we came to Hedera, we're like, everything normally that's made, all the websites, everything you go up is like Google quality. And you've really got to take the time to match that. And that's one of the things that we really worked hard on, was like, right, if it's not right, we're not launching, we're not doing it. And just thank you for that appreciation, because sometimes you're just like, is it good enough? Will the community like it? And you're always striving for better and greater, are you? So appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for showing us.
Everything good takes time to perfect, and if it happens fast and too easy, that's a little bit worrisome. So I'm glad you guys had your trials and tribulations as well to get to the point where you are today. So again, massive shout out to you guys. I love the platform.
Yeah, that's a shout out for you, Jon and Freddie, because I just go on there and be like, yeah, it doesn't work, guys, fix it. Like,
yeah.
Me and Mark are big testers on the platform, but you and Freddie make the magic happen with the dev work, so we appreciate it. So, but thank you. All right, let me get into these questions for you, my friend. All right, first question: if you had to eat fast food for 90 days at only one restaurant, which of these restaurants would you choose? McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Panera Bread, Wendy's, Burger King, or Subway?
Damn, you couldn't throw a nice choice in there? I didn't know there was a multiple choice. I was gonna say Cava. Cava is my go-to spot, but I'd probably rather starve myself than eat at any of those places. But I think
that's not an option.
I think if I had to choose, it's Panera. So
Panera, okay. All right. What's the best vacation? I've seen you post some pretty cool vacation pictures. So what's the best vacation spot you've ever been to?
Ooh, that is tough. But whenever my wife and I just, reminiscing about things, for some reason, our last trip we took before the baby came out was to Banff, Canada. And it was just like a dreamland. It just felt like you were in a completely different world, completely different environment. So I would say Banff, Canada, and my second place would be Greece. Greece was absolutely stunning. I feel like I was a Greek warrior in my previous life or something, because the moment I landed in that place, it took over my whole body, especially being on the Parthenon, the Acropolis. You just feel the history in your bones, and there's nothing you can do about it.
What time of year did you go to Banff, by the way? Just curious.
What's that?
What time of year did you go to Banff?
We went in March, I believe. So it was still pretty damn cold.
That's what I was wondering. Like, what? I don't even know what area of Canada that's in. What, west, east? Where's that?
It's very far west above Vancouver. So above Vancouver to the right.
Okay, gotcha. Wow, sounds lovely. But how long were you in Greece when you went?
So it was part of a bigger Europe tour. We took 21 days all over Europe, and Greece was our last stop. And the thing is, to every country we went to, we were like blown away. And then we would leave that country, go to the next one, completely forget about the one we were previously at. So when it came time, Greece was our last stop. I'm like, good luck, Greece, topping all of that. And boy, did it do that. So yeah, it was a special trip.
We were planning on going to Greece, and then we had a friend that was living there, and then she was living there during COVID, and then COVID happened, and she ended up coming back here. So we missed that opportunity, but that's definitely on the list of places I'd love to see. So, all right. If hypothetically I paid you for 18 months, like you were just getting paid to train to become an Olympic athlete, I looked up the top 5 easiest Olympic sports to get into. Which of these would you choose? Curling, sailing, archery, shooting, or pentathlon? And do you know what the pentathlon is? Because I looked it up afterwards.
I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be my answer anyways.
Yeah, but it's amazing, so I want to read it. It's fencing. It's like a combination thing. Fencing, a 200-meter swim. You ride an unfamiliar horse. Like you just give you a random horse to ride. Yes. And then you run, you do a laser run where you run and shoot targets. So I just thought that added to the question. I know you're probably not going to choose it, but I had to put that out there.
Listen, if I was back in my 20s, I would choose that one after you described it, because that is right up my alley. But I'm probably, since I'm Serbian and we've been in a few civil wars, and our entire country has always been in war, I think I'm going to go with shooting.
Okay.
I would probably dominate that.
All right. All right. So do you find remakes of movies, like movies or franchises, to be refreshing and nostalgic, or tired and no creativity?
Tired, no creativity. I don't like sci-fi stuff anyways. I don't like this whole Marvel BS. I like realistic movies that I can cry to or get angry with, whatever it might be. My favorite movie of all time, The Gladiator. I've probably seen that 35 times. My second favorite movie, you'll never guess, but it was Dumb and Dumber. There's just something about it when it came out. When I lived in Germany, it came out, the marketing for it, and I was not allowed to go see it. So when I came to the US, it was one of the first movies I ended up seeing in English. So it just completely blew me away. So yeah, I like realistic movies. So no remakes, please. Be original or get out.
All right. I like it. All right. And lastly, will the Clarity Act make crypto skyrocket, or is it already baked in?
If you asked me that question a month ago, I would have said, yeah, boy, we're going to the moon. But now I feel like it's already been baked in. It's always that, what is it called? Sell the rumors, buy the news.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of those things. So I think it's already baked in, essentially speaking. So I'm sorry to be a downer.
Oh, well, yeah, we like truth. We like truth. So if you're speaking the truth, then that's all we care about. So as far as, well, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate you coming on. It's good to see you in the flesh again, even though we're not hanging out shooting pool or anything or at HederaCon, but it's good to chat. How can people get up with you through X or any Discord or anything else you want to share?
The best way to get hold of me is through X. Unfortunately, it used to be Discord. I love Discord. I'm a Discord kind of guy, but the traction, the movement is all over X now. So I unfortunately abandoned Discord to a certain degree where I don't check my DMs or I'm active on there as much as I would like to. But yeah, X, send me a message. Hopefully you don't end up in spam. And if you do, I do still check those as well. You never know. It might be $1 million idea back there. So you have to go search for it.
And do you have anybody else, any other projects or anyone you want to shout out before we end the stream?
I just appreciate all the builders that are still around since I've been around. And again, there's not that many of them, but just the real people that have always stayed true to themselves and never let the market dictate their moods. So I do got to give a few shout outs. And again, the Dead Pixel Ghosts, I mean, that's the legends right there. I appreciate them putting the NFT ecosystem on their shoulders at certain points. You got to give a shout out to Maui and the Wild Tigers. Maui is the homie. He just never quit. No matter what odds were against him, he always just pulled through. You have people like Lady H that has helped me tremendously with the onboarding process and has always stayed true to herself. You got, of course, Fossil. I could name so many people in the space itself. But again, it's refreshing to see new faces pop up as well that have just made it their home so fast. I mean, you have Dream Bay with Chris. You've met Chris in Miami as well. And the thing I like about Chris is he's very outspoken. He will talk your ear off, but he gets stuff done. And you have to show respect to people that come up here and again, are helping us further the ecosystem. And I love Centex. I will always love Centex. I love that team as well. But it's always nice to have another marketplace that we can play with. And especially if Dream Bay is going cross-chain, why not give them some love and show them some support as well?
Love it. All right. As far as we go to IvyFi.io and stake some tokens if you want to. Follow us on X. This show is every Thursday night at 6. So tune in and see who we'll get on. I don't know who I'm going to try to bribe to get on here next week, but we'll get somebody on here. And join our Discord if you have any questions for us. Appreciate everybody joining. For Jon and DaRuler and Mark down there looking at me, I'm not going to ask you up.
He's like there. He's got his finger on the mouth, ready to go.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one.